Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea, how you can quit a bad habit, not just for the sake of self-improvement, but for a purpose that's so much bigger than yourself. You know that feeling, right? When you feel like you're just stuck in a loop with some habit you can't stand. It's that super frustrating feeling of running in circles, wanting to change, but just not knowing how to get off the merry-go-round. And oh, that's when the bargaining starts. That little voice in your head that whispers, okay, just this one last time. For real, I'll stop tomorrow. But then tomorrow comes, and somehow that same voice is right there waiting for you. Which brings us right here to that habit you hate. And look, if any of this is ringing a bell for you, I promise you, you are not alone. This inner struggle is a deeply, deeply human experience. It can be anything, right? Big, small. It really doesn't matter. It's that one thing you keep promising yourself you're finally going to change. But despite all your best intentions, the cycle just keeps on going. And here's the thing, it's usually not because you don't want to change. The real problem is just how overwhelming it all feels. It's like you're standing at the bottom of this huge mountain with absolutely no idea how to even take the first step. And that feeling, it can be totally paralyzing. So how do we get unstuck? How do we break out of that paralysis? Well, we need to find a more powerful why. And this is all about making a huge shift in your motivation, moving away from fear or just beating yourself up and moving towards something way more profound, love and devotion. Okay, so the core idea here is to completely reframe what you're doing, to see it as an act done for the sake of Allah. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's not about quitting because you're scared or because you feel like you have to. It's about transforming that act of quitting into an offering. It becomes this beautiful, positive gesture that comes from a place of genuine love and hope. All right, check this out. This really breaks down the difference in mindset. You see, when you're just quitting for self-help, it often feels like you're depriving yourself of something, right? And that kind of motivation, that willpower, it runs out of gas pretty quick. But when you shift your why to a higher purpose, everything changes. It stops being about deprivation and starts feeling like a meaningful sacrifice. Your motivation is tied to something that constantly renews itself. You stop focusing on what you think you're losing, and you start focusing on everything you're gaining spiritually. It's a total game changer. See? This isn't really about restriction at all. It's about redirection. You're not just putting the brakes on something negative. You are actively starting something positive. You're taking all that energy and pointing it towards a much, much higher goal. Okay, so that's the big idea, the mindset shift. But how do you actually do it? How do you make it real? Well, that's what this is all about. Your first step today, we're going to break down how to turn that big intention into one single, concrete, doable action. And this is so important, so please hear this. The goal is not to be perfect overnight. That pressure to be perfect is usually what makes us give up before we even start. So just forget about perfection. The only goal that matters right now is just to begin today. So here's a super simple 4-step way to do it. First up, just choose one thing. Seriously, don't try to fix everything at once. Just pick one specific habit to zone in on. Step 2, get to know your triggers. What are the situations, the feelings, the times of day that lead you to that habit? Just become aware of them. Step 3, and this is the absolute key, is to consciously make a sincere intention. You pause and you decide, I am leaving this for a higher purpose. And finally, step 4, take immediate action. That's it. Your new path literally begins with the very next choice you make. Okay, so starting is huge, but we all know that keeping it going, well, that's the real challenge, isn't it? So that brings us to our last section, making the change stick. How do we build that momentum so this isn't just a one-time thing, but a real lasting transformation? Because here's the thing, a strong start is amazing, but it needs a strong support system to keep going. Think of your willpower like a phone battery. It just runs out. So to keep that initial spark alive, you need more than just grit. You need support. You absolutely do not have to do this all on your own. So what does that support system look like? Well, for one, find good company, people who actually encourage your growth. Another huge one, change your physical environment to remove those temptations. And try to replace the bad habit with a new positive one. Don't just leave a void. And maybe most importantly, be patient and compassionate with yourself on this journey. And every single day, just take a moment to remind yourself of that powerful why that got you started. And this beautiful saying just brings it all home, doesn't it? The most beloved of deeds to Allah are those that are most consistent, even if they are few. It's not about making some massive, heroic gesture that you can't keep up. The real, true power is in the small things you do consistently, day in and day out. That's where the real transformation happens. So let's throw out that big, scary, overwhelming question of, how can I fix my whole life by tomorrow? The only question that really matters right now is this. What one small thing, what single act of devotion can you start today?